is your financial pyramid. In the table below, write down your financials in US dollars and a percentage. What is your assessment? Okay, and again, this is supposed to be a case study, so like it's supposed to be about somebody else, which it could be, but it's better if you use your own numbers. It's just don't put your name on it because it's very personal. You know, this is like very personal stuff, and you don't want people getting to your business. You know, so put somebody's name. You know, as long as I know it's coming from you. But it's better if you use your own numbers, right? So that's more useful for you. Okay, so here's the financial pyramid. Okay, it begins with maximizing your household income within reason. Okay, and then minimizing your costs within reason. Again, you know, I don't want you to have a heart attack or a stroke, and I also don't want you to be living in a cardboard box under a bridge. Okay, eating ramen noodles every night. That's a bit too much. Okay, and then you want to maximize your investments, right? This is in terms of the money, right? The amount of money, right? So the most money is hopefully your income, and then your costs, right? Then your investments, right? In terms of the dollar expenditures, and then your emergency fund would be your next big chunk of money, and then last, your insurances. So that's how your pyramid should look like, okay, if possible. Even though the cycle is a little bit different, right? The cycle is different because the cycle goes from, first of all, minimizing your costs, maximizing your income, then building an emergency fund, and then having the insurance that you feel are good for you, and then maximize your investments with the money that's left over, right? Based on your decisions. Okay, that's the cycle. But the pyramid should look like this, right? The biggest chunk of money is your income. Then the next biggest chunk is your expenses. Then the third biggest chunk are your investments, right? And then the fourth biggest chunk, your emergency fund. And then hopefully your insurances are adequate, but not humongous. Okay, not humongous. Okay, and here we have the same thing, right? Income, costs, investments, emergency fund, insurances. And what's your percentage? What percentage of your income? Well, here, of course, this would be 100%, right? This one I can write here because that's 100%. Oops, that's 100%. Okay, and then what are your costs for income? I'm gonna put maybe I can put Social Security. Okay, 1,745, which is the average Social Security check in California. Okay, let's say that's 100% of your income. Then what are your costs? How much can you invest? How much is going into your emergency fund? How much are you spending on insurances? And then percentage-wise, and then what do you think? What do you think about it's going? To be honest with you, I don't like spending so much money on insurances. Okay, in fact, I hate it. I detest it with a passion. But still, we do it. You know, and my wife hates it too. We both hate having to pay all these. We have health insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance, homeowners insurance, earthquake insurance, fire insurance, flood insurance, cancer insurance, and long-term care insurance. Okay, we have them all, almost. Well, at least those. We have those. And it costs us quite a bit of money every month, and I hate it, and she hates it. But that's preferable to having a calamity, right? Like sometimes you turn on the news and it says people are crying, like there's a earthquake or a fire or a flood, and they turn on the news and people are crying and they're desperate and they're desolate and they're having a crisis. And that's what happened. Well, we lost everything. We lost everything. We lost our home. We lost our furniture. We lost our cars. Maybe they lost everything they had. And I said, well, didn't you have earthquake insurance? No. Well, didn't you have fire insurance? No. Didn't you have flood insurance? No. Okay, well, that's why you lost everything. Okay. Okay. If you have insurance, the insurance is meant to protect you from these calamities, right? So it's painful, it's unpleasant, but it's preferable to having a calamity, you know. Many Americans, if not most Americans, file bankruptcy because of medical costs. Like they don't have adequate health insurance coverage, and they have a major health problem, like cancer, AIDS, and they have to sell everything to try to cover their medical expenses. And since they don't have that much money, the average American has a net worth of about 100,000. That might not be sufficient, and then they have to file bankruptcy because they can't cover the medical costs. They have to, the medical provider has to write that off as a bad account. Okay. So anyway, so think about this. Okay, tell me about this. And the most important thing, first of all, is to get the numbers down, the percentages down, and then for you to think about how your decisions. How are you doing with maximizing your income? How are you doing with minimizing your costs? Are you able to invest at this point in your life? Do you have a sufficient and adequate emergency fund? Then what insurances do you need, right? Within reason. And of course, automobile insurance is required by law, and so is healthcare insurance. If you don't have health insurance, when you go to file your taxes, they will ding you for that. They'll penalize you for not having health insurance in your taxes, your tax returns. Okay, so that's where we are with this. Okay, okie doke. Next slide.